Set play rate. I think that's what we want. So I just want to make sure this works. Animation speed there. Animation speed needs to be hooked up here. So let's just make sure it does what it's supposed to do. Okay, so doing that, and let's juice this thing up. Let's set that anim speed to like 10. Hello, Burnt McSlurp. Yeah, and the anim speed of 10 totally works. So that's excellent. That's ready to go. Excellent. So we'll save that and check that in, and then I'll probably try to get Adam's attention. Alright, let's see if I can go talk to him. Thank you for following Burt McSlurp. Welcome to the most boring game dev streams of all time. I'm glad you're here to suffer through it with me. Alright, so we'll see if he wants to mess around with this. Thank you for following. It's me, Dunned. It's Dunned. Not boring, the rants are funny. Well, basically, Mr. McSlurp, I'm the engineer. I'm working on this project, and it's a combination of C++ code and blueprints and Unreal 4 engine all put together in a big mishmash of garbage, which turns out to be our game, which is not garbage somehow. At least I think it is. Okay. It's pretty fun. We play it from time to time, you know? They're analyzing the goat man. Man, that goat man. So I'm just just waiting basically for Adam to get available here. The entire game fascinating, and it's gonna be a platformer. Yeah, it's definitely it's a fast platformer. It's not like a tight platformer like Meat Boy or something like that. It's more of a fluid platformer. And the big thing is that it's multiplayer, and we're building the multiplayer game, which will then go into building the single player game later, depending upon how much how much money we make, if at all. The more we make, the better the single player will be. Basically, when we're going through making the single player game to start with, we kind of ran into an issue of there's no way to stream it, and there's no real good way to gauge interest for the project. So if we worked on something for like 2 years, yeah, it's kind of arcade soccer is how I describe it. If we could spend like 2 years working on the single player game, have it come out, and then, congrats, nobody cared, nobody likes your game, and great, now we're both totally broke, and there you go, there's 2 years out of your life that's gone. So kind of the multiplayer game helps us learn the systems, build out the thing. It's something we can also play on stream. Like, you can't play a single player game that's maybe like 5 or 6 hours, because it's going to be story based, because Brackenwood is a story based universe. You can't play that on a stream like over and over again. So you're kind of screwed for kind of indie marketing in some ways. It's a hell of a lot easier to market Rogue Legacy or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds or anything else when it's multiplayer, or like Rogue Legacy or something like that, where it's real difficult and random, and you can reset your run. So we need stuff like that. So this guy is analyzing the Goatman video, and he says it's actually a snake in a tree trying to get a dog or something. So it's a snake eating a rat or a small animal. That's pretty great. Oh shit! The snake runs away. That's amazing. Rocket League, kind of. I don't know. I wouldn't compare ourselves to Rocket League. They're a little bit in a league separate from us. Super Smash. I also wouldn't compare it to Smash Bros. Smash Bros is a fighting game, and this is not a fighting game. It's a brawling game. It's different. You'd love to see more of the faces behind your favorite games. Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that I've not heard of Bomber Crew. Bomber Crew on Steam. It is a simulation game. Looks like it's World War II bombers, and that looks pretty cool. It's kind of like looks like it's like kind of FTL-ish in how you command your dudes in real time. Rename NPCs as viewers. Yeah, that's totally like FTL. But looks like they do stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but as for seeing people behind the mask, people that are actually developing your projects, it's interesting because the celebrities that we have in the game industry really, It's kind of funny. You'll think like, oh man, we got these, John Romero or Carmack or some of the like Soren for Civ, and then we have Sid Meier and all these things. They're not really. There's no real engineers. There's no like the rank and file dudes, or there's no like real artists behind it. Like composers, sure. We got like Martin Salvatore or whatever for Halo and Destiny music, and then not Destiny music. But it's interesting. We don't have any rank and file engineer peoples. Just asshole engineer peoples. Perhaps an option for bracket set customization of NPC names. Oh, definitely. We are going to have lots of customization options. It's a multiplayer game, right? And how do you do progression? Progression for a multiplayer game, it's real simple. Give people cool customization stuff. They love that. Even Rocket League, you got the cash cab roaming around with the money trail or whatever. That sort of stuff works. So there'll definitely be customization options. I'm not sure about names because we kind of want to use your Twitch or your Steam handle. Maybe naming bots or something that you could play against, but I don't know. I don't think we have any powers or abilities slated where people would spawn little minions, because though I don't know. That's an idea. That maybe one of the powers that you have is like you summon an army of Prowlies to go fuck up the opponents. Like just go around and the opponents are like, they do the bitey thing in water lollies or whatever. Or Prowlies by the river. And you could name the Prowlies after people in stream. Get a little list of subs and it would like automatically pull them from there. Oh, he hasn't actually seen the snake. Okay, so cinematic spawner, cinematic actor, which follows ground, and locked to viewpoint actor. Guess I should just say view actor. The other thing I'm gonna start working on is some of these bug fixes. I got this big list of stuff that I've been crunching through some of them, but yeah. Update 3 had quite a few bugs that need to be fixed. Yeah, I think one of the things with the game right now is it's one of the things that we've really tried to do is keep the game as fast as possible. And as a result of that, network latency is a big issue, but it's a fast game. You're always going to have a problem with that. But one of the other things I think is kind of maybe not expected was how unreadable the game can be for people watching. Because things like Rocket League, like people understand cars. They're kind of things that exist in real life and that you're used to. You know how they work.
I opening? I'm opening.
So probably you want to boot up the UI level.
Yep.
Because we probably want to just go ahead and hook it up with something in there.
All right. So terrain's loading in. Terrain takes a while to load in. It's pretty big, I think.
Is it just a bunch of vertices, or?
The terrain?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just the landscape system. I've never seen it take this long to load in. But it's only happening on the UI level. It doesn't happen when you run the level. It's only in the editor. But it can take like a minute to load in. It looks all fine in the editor. When you run the game. There we go. It's in now. All right. So what do I do?
Oh, I can double check that landscape real quick. Let me see. So landscape 6. I guess if I set it to wireframe, maybe I can see how many verts you've got. I mean, it looks reasonable. Kind of. You've got, whoa, there's some very weird stuff with that wireframe. Like you can see, I don't know if you've got wireframe on, but if you look at it, some of your landscape is real complicated in terms of its structure, and then like the bottom, like the southeast corner is really low res.
I can't see what you're talking about.
All right, cool. Well, then I will have to send you the screenshot.
I mean, I can see there's a lot of geometry in this terrain, but
Yes, that's what I'm seeing there.
Why? I don't know why you're seeing that. I'm not seeing that with mine, but I do notice that the waterfall materials are falling straight through. Waterfall particles, but yeah, I don't see that geometry stuff that you've got. Like, I don't know what's going on there. But that low corner at the back that you're looking at, yeah, I'm not seeing any of that. Wireframe, yeah.
All right, well, I wouldn't worry about it then.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, so I guess you're looking at the main menu, VP. That's what we want to do.
All right. Where do I go for that? The VP, right?
Yeah. So just make sure we're looking at the same thing. So what you want to do is in gameplay cinematic, there is a BP cinematic spawner, and if you grab that, drag one in there.
Oh, drag one in there. Okay.
Basically, you put in this spawner, and then it'll spawn out flipbook characters that run along the ground for a certain amount of time before they disappear, and at various speeds.
Okay. Where did that go? There it is. So at various speeds. All right, hang on a second. And should I be seeing anything in the editor, or is it only when I play?
It won't spawn anything in the editor.
Right.
You'll have to play to actually view it. So what you want to do is like throw it. The big orange arrow is also the direction that the guys will go.
Yeah.
So what you want to do, yeah, throw it like in front of the camera there. And what I noticed is that the characters also need to be a bit bigger for you to actually see them.
Right.
So you want to change the scale of the cinematic spawner to something like maybe 3. And make sure you're changing the spawner parent as opposed to like the arrow or the sphere.
Yeah. Okay. funny, the arrows seem to have disappeared as soon as I selected. As soon as I changed the scale of that.
Yeah, the arrow objects are kind of finicky with Unreal.
Doesn't it looks like it? It looks like it didn't actually disappear. It just was offset. So
Oh, yeah, okay, you accidentally changed the position of the arrow and not the parent object?
right, yeah. I've been doing that with the VPs, and I discover it later on, and then I have to go and reset them.
Yeah.
So okay, so the arrow should be at.
Just hit the reset button there on it. Should be at 0, 0, 0.
Where's the reset button? What?
You changed the sphere location.
Right. I normally type in 0, 0, 0. Did
Yeah,
you say there's a reset button?
yeah, the little yellow thing on the right of it, when it's edited, will set it to default. If it's not edited, the arrow will not be there.
Okay.
Anyway, so if you got that set, you can change. You want to select the cinematic spawner and change the viewpoint actor, because all those spawned little characters actually need to point to. They need to, face a camera.
They need to face a camera. So I've got two cameras here that are facing this arrow. They're going across that scene. Is that how it should look?
All right, so you need it to face whatever camera's active, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that an issue? Because I've got a Oh, not necessarily actually, because well, yeah, ideally that would be it. Because I've got a main menu camera here, and I've also got a credit scene camera, and they're pretty much in the same spot, but one is sunset and the other is.
Well, we can see how it looks. So, why don't you just select the viewpoint actor and set it to the VP main menu?
What do you mean? Select the viewpoint actor.
I mean, select the cinematic spawner and then set the viewpoint actor to the VP main menu.
Where do I do that?
If you click on the cinematic spawner, it's under spawn. You probably want to minimize all those extra tabs you're not going to look at. And also make sure you're not selecting the sphere, but you're selecting the actual blueprint.
Right, I got it. Okay. Yep. And then, all right, that's viewpoint actor. All right, I see where it is. VP main menu. Right. Okay. And then now if I play?
Yeah, so if you play it, it should spawn a slow-moving Dashkin every so often.
Oh, there we go. Yep. Slow-moving Dashkin. Oh, shit. That's great. He's got his lighting on and everything.
Yeah, it's using the tricolor sprite with the default settings.
Yeah, okay.
So what you can do with this, so you set the credit screen also, so let's just make sure that that doesn't look super stupid.
Oh, there we go. That looks great. That works. And he's all lit up and he's going in front of the sun too, so that's nice.
All right, so that looks okay. So what you want to do is, inside of that spawn thing, you can change all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
So you can change how fast the animation is moving with anim speed. You can change the spawn time min and max, the speed min and max, the height of the character. So if the character is like not in the ground, or you want to actually kind of shove him into the ground, or have him float off the ground, change the height.
Okay.
And then life min and max is how long the character will exist.
Right, excellent. Okay. Did you just build all this?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's great. Thank you
So,
very much.
all right. So the cinematic actor needs to face the active camera regardless. So I can go do that, and it should work. But there's it looks like the facing direction also isn't exposed because there's supposed to be a couple more in here. I, I guess I kind of jumped the gun with submitting everything. Let me see. Yeah, the direction isn't exposed and the flipbook isn't exposed. Okay, so I'll actually check that in real quick here.
Okay. Yeah, this is great. So,
All right,
if I wanted
latest.
to run across,
I
so
just should have that.
oh, okay. So I'll close this and grab latest. Check out. Um, oops. Check out. I'm just gotta grab the latest. I don't need to rebuild, do I?
No.
Okay. Grab latest.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll set it so if you don't set a viewpoint actor, it'll use the active camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of thing when you're spawning particles and everything else. There's so much other crap that needs to happen for some of these guys.
Right.
I was just
Yeah, I thought
just
the
like,
downside of that as well was no lighting on the characters, so I didn't think that would matter too much because it was all blurred heavily, but it looks better with the lighting easily.
all right. So now you should see the direction and the flipbook, so you can specify if they're supposed to be facing to the left or right, and which flipbook should be used.
Okay. Gameplay levels UI. Okay, so I've got the latest. I've got it open. What am I doing? I'm going to.
The cinematic spawner,
Yeah.
and you should see the direction and flipbook now inside of those spawn parameters.
Right. Yeah. Direction and flipbook.
So yeah, if you want the character to run to the left, you'll have to set left as the direction.
Okay. And if I want them, I can have one that's walking.
You could make like another spawner there that could
Yeah.
spawn walkers.
Yeah.
So that's if you want to set stuff up like that, then that's what I would recommend.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So let's have a look at it.
And it should use any flipbook, and it'll use the tricolor sprite. So I don't know if you used a fat sack flipbook, if it would probably look all screwed up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought that's why I thought bots might be good to put in there, but that just means have to build an actual level.
Yeah, bots aren't going to work at all for this.
Yeah.
Like one of the biggest reasons why is kind of there are funny stories of when they're building Halo and they kept changing like the Banshee speeds, and
Yeah.
it would break all their cinematics because their Banshees would like fly into the Covenant ships.
Oh, right.
And like they'd make the Banshee faster and they would just like run on the walls. Like,
So you got to make a bunch of special cases for your cinematics.
yeah, eventually they just like made a completely separate vehicle, like cinematic Banshee, and they're just like, don't fucking touch this ever. So yeah, if we're ever going to do anything like cinematic like this, it can't use the bots at all
Yeah.
because then like the bots have to conform to weird, crazy shit.
Right. Uh, so if I want them to run if they go left or right, does that mean the arrow direction is kind of secondary? It's like if I can choose one or the other, like I can define the direction with the arrow, the big orange arrow, or I can define the direction with the left or right drop down.
No, one is the direction of motion. So they're always going to run along the ground. So it doesn't matter your angle up or down.
Oh, right.
So left, the arrow is where the object moves, and the left and right direction is if it flips the flip book over for you. So
Okay.
it's not smart. It doesn't, it's just like play this movie on like flash stage. You know.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah. Okay. So there's guy, this guy moonwalking backwards from the other direction. So I'll flip his. I get it. That's really cool. Yeah.
And if you have other requirements for this, like oh, I want to spawn blue bites or red bites or whatever, um, just write them down and send them to me.
All right. Excellent.
And as long as it's not something super stupid. Like I
What
don't
you
think
need.
we're gonna chain animations or anything else.
No. And I think it's just going to be enough that they run across really fast.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that would be the speed min and max, right? So at the moment it's at 500. I can go like 2500 by 5,000.
Yeah, I think right now Bitey's maximum speed is somewhere around 18,000.
Yeah. So when he's running, I think it's like 6,000 or something.
Uh, I think it's around 6 to 8 or something like that.
59. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. So let's go between 5 and 6,000.
Hello, Kinto. The character spawner is what Adam's working on right now, which is putting in the little characters that run past in the main menu. And these guys follow the ground, and if there was a rock, they'd run up the rock, and all that sort of stuff. So,
That's really cool that they'll actually go over the terrain. So if I put one right off in the distance, he'll be running over that hill.
yeah, so they kind of stick to the terrain and all that stuff. So if you have them run off a cliff, they teleport to the bottom of the cliff
Oh, right.
and stuff like that. So don't have them lemming themselves off something. They will
They will die.
they will stick to the ground like the trucks and big rigs, mother truckers.
I haven't played that.
Nobody's played that.
Nobody's played it. Except you.
That's
You've
the
played it.
totally broken truck game. You've probably seen the
Right.
video.
I've heard about it, yeah. I think you even sent me some video a while back.
You go in reverse and you can go at infinite velocity.
What?
Yeah,
That's the one where they half finished it and decided just not to finish it, right?
yeah. Like there's 3 trucks in the race. One of them just stays where it is.
Right.
It's just like, what the fuck?
Does not compete.
Yeah, it's like I give up.
Yeah. Oh, that looks great with them running across in the background. So the frequency at which they run through, like at the moment, one every couple of seconds. Is that something? That's one of the controls, isn't it?
Yeah, that's spawn
Spawn
time.
time.
It's a Gaussian random, so that means it's much more likely to be in the middle than on the outside.
Okay. So here it's more likely to spawn at around 5 seconds in, 4 seconds in.
Yeah.
I see. Devil 23. This is a ball game arcade brawler, ball high speed. I mean, we've got to come up with a better way of describing this game. But what do you say, Kirk?
It's arcade soccer.
Arcade soccer. It's like it's a 2D Rocket League, left and right side scrolling Rocket League. Kind of, but with characters and high speed. Rocket League doesn't have the kinds of speeds that we have. I don't think anybody has the kind of speeds that we have, do they?
Yeah, there's reasons for that. we have our own special set of problems.
I think I'm going to make it quite rare that the characters run through. And I think there can be... I just want to look at this. So this will be... there goes one. Okay, wait. So you say that 20, 30... Oh, no, it's fine. So if I put it between 20 and 60, it's more likely one will run through between, say 20 and 40 seconds. If it's between 0 and 60 seconds, it'll run through somewhere between like 20 and 40, right?
Yeah, it's the bell curve.
All right. 60.
So one thing to think about is we're actually spawning these cinematic actors that are running across there. So if you want stuff like sound effects or other things, it's possible for us to put that on as well.
Oh, excellent. Right, so footsteps.
Yeah, it would be possible to use footsteps. I'm not sure about how everything would work, but if you got those features that you want in there, write them down and I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Thanks, man. This is great.
But you'll have to ask for them, though.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go build a whole bunch of crap for something that never gets used. So.
Understood.
Because I don't know, it's the main menu, right? At some point, it's like all right, we spent the first 6 months on our project. What do you have? We have the intro video.
And that's all.
Yeah, is that it? Yeah. We're gonna hire Nicolas Cage, and he's gonna find treasure. Fuck. All right, well, I'll go do the camera stuff and just let you know when that's in there. Otherwise, is there anything else?
No, this is good. I'm putting a guy in the extreme foreground who will only run through somewhere around 2.5, 3 minutes. So if you're sitting on the main menu, 3 minutes, in about 3 minutes, you'll see someone go past in the foreground. Hopefully.
Yeah, that was my joke. Is if we threw the bots in there and then like I put in some sort of AI for the bots that changed it, and then it's just the main menu always boots up to just looking like straight under the crotch of one of the Dashkin.
Hey, that doesn't sound like that. There's no downside there.
There's no downside. Oh God, what have we done?
Yes.
All right, did you want me to stick around just to while you mess around with this?
No, I could just drop you a message. You're streaming still?
Oh yeah, I should be on for a while.
All right. Yeah, I might just drop you a message on Twitch if I have any major issues, but otherwise I'm just going to work on insect swarms.
Yeah,
stuff.
It's looking.
Yeah, but this looks really good. Thanks heaps for that. It's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It looks a lot better than like a painting because it's in engine, and it looks like it doesn't take as long.
Yeah, and the credits screen. Holy shit! Have you seen that yet on your end?
I'm looking at your stream, so.
Yeah, credit screen looks really good, and when the characters run past and they block sunlight, it's very nice.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, thanks, man. I'll keep going.
All right, later.
All right, later.
All right, the one and only Tim. This stream is the best stream. Gonna chill on the side. All right, cool. DeGuzzy, sorry I wasn't reading chat. I was trying to focus on helping out Adam because he was taking the time. The spawner you're teaching him to use is something you built from scratch. Yeah, I put that together just over the past, hour and a half or so. The spawner as well as the character that actually is running along the ground and all that crap. So, yeah, that's what I do. I'm the engineer. I go make things that he can use. So, that's my job. Well, the one and only Tim, there's only one cheat right now, but it's not a very good one. And also, if you need cheat codes to beat Adam, I think you need to get good, son. Nah, he's pretty good at it. Just I like to throw shade. All right, so for this cinematic actor, I need to make some better thumbnails. So face towards camera if the all right, the camera location. So what we want to do is find, look at random camera location. I got this built kind of wrong. All right, so we don't want camera location. We want camera actor. Yeah, we want face toward actor. So basically what we want to do here is if this is valid, then we want to do this. Otherwise, we're going to want to... Can we get our camera position? Get player camera manager, get player proxy. Let me see. Because I would imagine there'd be something built in. Get camera world location. Yeah, okay, so let's see if this is... Get camera manager, from it, get camera location, and get camera rotation. Alright, so get camera manager at player 0, get camera location. Okay, so we can do that otherwise. So why don't we set the camera location to this, and then we'll go do our other shenaniganry here. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to hook down here and set our camera location to the player camera manager camera location. Alright, camera location should not be exposed on spawn and should not be available. Variable is marked as editable. Please make editable. Face toward actor. And then we'll need to change the cinematic spawner to face toward actor. Just like that. So camera location needs to be nothing. Go ahead and delete this. Let's see, where is camera location? Why don't we also just throw in like a spawn number here? Nah, spawn number's stupid. Alright. Let's rotate. That should work. So that theoretically should work now. So let's snag this guy. Let's set its viewpoint actor to nothing, and let's spawn this guy. So these guys should run over to the right and always face my camera. Looks like they're doing just that. Let's make sure they actually are respecting some of these rules. Then. Yeah, okay, so they're doing what they should. And let's go ahead and make our thumbnails. Alright, so that's good to go. So let's check that in. Alright. Thank you for following Devil 23. I am going to need to be right back, and then I will get back into... I need to fix bugs today. So I'll get back into fixing bugs. And the first one will be playlists and locally... Yeah, we need to make sure our playlists are working properly. So I'll be back in a moment. Oh yeah, Devil 23. Ask any question you want. I will choose whether or not I want to answer it. But if you got programming questions or whatever, I might actually be able to give you decent answers. Hopefully. So I won't do your programming homework if you're in school, though, because school assignments are boring and stupid. Whoever learned to program by reading a book? Nobody. Books are for chumps. You're in school for theater? Well, very good. I wouldn't think they'd have many programming classes in theater. You can't tell if he's being sarcastic. Yeah, it was one of the things when I was in college, basically. They'd point to those, the big, thick, like, C++ coding complete or, whatever book, the big blue book or whatever for C++. And they'd be like, yeah, you should read that. And it's like, no, you fucking shouldn't. Like, it's all crap. Learning to program is just learning to program. You got to sit down and, like, the only thing you need is the language reference. That's it. Just give you the data sheet, and then the rest of programming is just you thinking like a machine and being able to articulate very specifically what you want that machine to do, because it's only going to do exactly what you tell it to. The only programming books that were helpful were kind of a few things like when I was getting started with, hey, this is how you set up DirectX for skin mesh animation and stuff like that. But even that was... The helpful things for learning how to program are other people helping you and other people to compete with. I think that's one of the most important things, is having some competition and some healthy competition, because you need, at least with programming, it's real easy to be right all the time, and everybody can always be right. Like, if you write a program and you're like, oh, well, I wrote this program and it's 20 lines less than yours, I'm better than you. Or it runs a little bit faster, I'm better than you. Or I wrote it and it took me only an hour, I'm better than you. Doesn't matter. If the thing works, it works. So what language does Unreal 4 use? I tried to learn in school a long time ago, and I'm getting much more out of the monogram documentation in a few forms. Yeah. Unreal 4 is built in C++. All the code for all of Unreal is, like, we compile it. Like, we got the whole thing. And on top of Unreal 4 is a visual programming system called Blueprints, which is really just visual coding. So you're just dragging some nodes together and, basically building what would be a logical circuit diagram. But it's kind of easier to look at. It's got Fisher-Price UI design, so it's all big and colorful to make you feel like you're not playing with Tinker Toys, and instead of doing real programming. And kind of the idea is, usually your game engine is divided between your core engine code and your scripting language, C++ and Lua, or Java and JavaScript, or something in Python, or even whatever script you use. There's usually a good separation. So blueprints are good for making things that are kind of throwaway, or making things that are just isolated. It's like, okay, we're done. I'm never going to use this on anything else. Bam. excellent. And it also helps you with iteration speed because compiling a blueprint takes almost no time, and compiling C++ does. But blueprints are hard to organize, so sometimes it's better to pull it out into C++. All right, so what I've got is I need to make sure that we're actually respecting our playlist for the server. You're starting to realize how much you can do with a draw function and a few if statements. This is all starting to be way less complicated than you used to think. Well, it depends on what you want to do. Unreal 4 is kind of a big monster. I think I once described it as like I was describing game engines to my parents at one point, and I think a good analogy is that Unreal is kind of a factory that builds factories. So like if you're trying to make cars, because like, you know, the game is your car, that, you know, your different car that you're putting out every year. Unreal will let you build the factory that will then let you make the cars. So you can screw around inside of Unreal and be like, all right, cool, we're going to need some 3D printer functionality stuff. And then, you know, you build your factory out using Unreal 4. And then you can then make your game inside of that, which is your car. And things like Unity and some of these are kind of, they're already a pre-made factory and you're just working on the car. So be like, if you're working in Unity and you want to go change, you know, the core everything code, it's going to be like, no, the factory has a robotic arm that puts steel together with steel here. That's not going to change. You can use it or you can not use it, but it's not like we're going to swap that out with a giant vat of molten steel that we're going to pour and cast something or whatever. And it's easier to, you know, make cars using something like Unity, but it's more difficult to make custom cars. You know, it's going to be like, oh, you wanted a car with 5 wheels on it? Well, we don't do that. You know, you can have any, you can get your Model T in any color you want as long as it's black, sort of thing. So, anyway. So if we got our playlists, our playlists are loaded up inside of, I think, our begin play. Like we have our game mode here. Dashkin gameplay utils, get active playlist. All right, so when we initialize is when we